Hi, this is Craig and welcome back to Cruising Off Duty. This is the episode of our last sailing weekend of the 2018 sailing season. I know in a previous episode I mentioned I probably wasn't going to put this one out because we were going to Navy Bay again, and we'd just done that a couple episodes before. But when I had some commenters say they'd like to see the footage because every time you go out on the boat, things are different, even if you go to the same anchorage. And I'm glad I reviewed the footage to decide, yeah, I am going to make this episode because 3 things happened that were very unique, pretty much, a one-time deal. One was we left Ottawa through a driving rainstorm with lots of wind. A power had gone out in our house, didn't think much of it, drove to Kingston, didn't get there, got there, and then my sister called me and said there was twisters, tornadoes that had landed all over Ottawa, numerous ones. So yeah, that's pretty unique. We're kind of laughing at the beginning because at this point we're not really sure how bad things are. Sometimes people say they see twisters and then they don't, there's really not much damage. But as you'll see from this episode, there is a lot of damage in Ottawa from these 3 twisters that came down at the same time, 3 tornadoes. So we're kind of laughing, but at the time we didn't really know the level of devastation. So we're sorry if that offends anyone. We were just laughing that we drove through it and didn't even realize what we were going through. The next thing that happened that was unique was this is the first weekend I have my Mavic 2 Pro. It was my brand new drone at the time. I think I might have flown it once or twice off land. But this is the first time I fly off my sailboat. And yeah, it acted really, really weird and almost crashed. Didn't like flying over water. I don't know if there needs to be a firmware update or what, but it didn't give me a lot of confidence about flying off a moving sailboat in the future. So this is the drone I'll be taking with me to South Africa, crossing the South Atlantic and then some of the North Atlantic to get to the United States. It's gonna be a huge voyage. I'm bringing this drone mostly so I can fly when we are at an island or at a port, not to fly off a moving sailboat. Luckily, the owner of the sailboat has a Phantom, and those are quite easy to catch. So we'll probably use that if we're going to fly off a moving sailboat, not my Mavic 2 Pro. So that almost crashing it is in this episode as well. And then the third thing is this is the first time we've ever seen a cruise ship docked in front of Kingston, the city we're out of. It was very unique because it's a big boat for a river, really. Now, we see freighters all the time that are huge, but they always end up being on the American side, on the other side of Wolf Island. So we don't see them passing directly in front of Kingston. So yeah, this is pretty much the biggest boat we've ever seen anchored in front of Kingston, and we sail right by it. So some interesting things in this episode, well worth having this episode be made after all, and hopefully you enjoy it. Ciao for now. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Welcome back to Cruising Off Duty. We have some news. This is our last sailing weekend.
Yeah.
Which is the sad news. And then 2 weekends from now when I'm off again, we're gonna be at the Annapolis Sailboat Show.
Yep.
That's gonna be exciting. So we'll do our usual reviews of all the different catamarans. I know it's a very popular series, but more to the point, here we are on our last weekend. Winter is definitely coming. It's gonna be down to what, 6 degrees tonight?
Yep,
Something
3
like
degrees
that.
tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'm wearing a t-shirt just because we're in our enclosed Bimini Dodger area, so it doesn't feel that cold. But we left from Ottawa
right after a major storm.
Yeah, we thought it was just a big rainstorm.
And then on the way here, our power did go out, but so a big deal. It lasts usually, maybe half an hour. We're like, oh well, we'll go. And then on the way here, we find out there were tornadoes. Our power is going to be out for days. So anyway, we're going to stay on the boat anyway tonight.
Yeah, there's no power at home or internet.
Yeah.
So, anyways, our friends are even saying cellular coverage because so many people are on the cell towers trying to talk to each other. Cells are even intermittently down. So it's quite the gong show for Ottawa. And we literally, the tornado just hit up the road from where we are. One definite tornado tore the hell out of Dunrobin, which is a little community just north of where we live. So here we are thinking, it's a rainstorm. Oh, the power went out, big deal. We get here and find out it's Armageddon in Ottawa. So we didn't know.
No.
My sister called me and was like, I saved mom, I rescued mom. And we're
what?
like, from what? Like a rainstorm? And she goes, oh, the power's out all over the place. I'm like, yeah, the power will be back up in a couple hours. Like, it's not a big deal. Totally blow it off. And then all my other friends start texting me, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, what? So very bizarre. So anyways, we are safe here in Kingston on our boat.
Very safe.
And we're gonna relax.
And then when we go home, we'll take all our boat. We have a bunch of extension cords, power, generator, and a bunch of battery lights and lanterns. So we'll bring all that home.
That's one thing about being on a sailboat is you kind of try and be self-reliant. So we have a generator as a what if on our boat, and we have a bunch of solar. Now obviously we're not going to take our solar with us, but we're kind of used to living with battery powered lights and solar power and obviously a generator as backup. So we're kind of used to having the grid being down. So we could live for a long time on our sailboat. So That's good if we really, really needed to, but this is the perfect time of year for this sort of thing to happen because it's not cold enough that you really need your furnace, and it's certainly not hot enough that people are going to die of heat.
No.
So it's that perfect time. If you have to have a power outage for a few days, this is definitely the time to do it. So anyways, that's the story. So this episode is going to go out pretty soon. I have my new Mavic 2 Pro, which is kind of time sensitive. I want to practice using that off the boat, so that'll be in this episode. Then probably coming right up after that, very soon after that, will be all the Annapolis Sailboat Show stuff, which is going to be time sensitive. And then in the winter, when I don't have anything, I'm going to go back and do a bunch of my sailing episodes I never got around to doing. So yeah, you'll probably see this winter, all of a sudden we'll jump back and it'll be like July and August again. So who knows?
Just like last year.
Just like last year, yeah. All right, so hopefully you enjoy this episode, and who knows what's going to happen.
Middle of the road, it's just a feeling of a distant melody unknown. I was doing fine, I minded my own business till the day you took me home. You came into my life like a sweet embrace, swept me off my feet and made me whole again.
Okay, we just finished anchoring. Janice just dropped the anchor. We are here at Navy Bay. She said hi. We're here at Navy Bay again. As you can see, we're right beside the lookout tower of Fort Henry. The reason is, we're only here Saturday, Sunday. We just didn't feel like it. The wind is very negligible. Look at, there's like no noticeable waves. So sailing a long distance would have really meant motoring a long distance, and we just want to relax. And the other thing too is the wind's coming from the northeast, which is a very rare wind direction. There's not too many bays or anchorages that protect you from that direction, except for Navy Bay and a few way upriver, but nothing nearby. So we're gonna just be here, just gonna chill out, relax, fly my drone, have fun. That's it. It's all about having fun. All right, as much as it would be nice if it was warmer here, I am wearing a sweatshirt. This is definitely the life. So we're sitting back in their cockpit, our nice enclosed cockpit now. Janice is reading all about the tornadoes and power outages in our neighborhood, which we're missing out on. I'm watching NFL football on my iPad that I've recorded and want to catch up on. And we get to watch kids racing, which is a nice little outlet to watch. It's relaxing, right, Janice?
Yeah, I like this bay.
Yeah. By the way, if you're on a boat and you want a media consumption device, I don't think there's anything better than the large 12.9-inch iPad, because it's big enough to feel like a TV. Janice and I often sit around the salon table while we're eating, watching the big 12.9-inch, and when it's close enough to it actually feels big, like a TV. Oh, look at that, sun's coming out. Nice. Okay, it's a beautiful sunny day. We're going to take advantage of this.
It's the nicest it's going to get, I think. It's gorgeous. Blue.
It's not too windy.
Yeah.
So we're going to fly my new toy, my Mavic 2 Pro, from my boat. We're going to sail around near Fort Henry, but mostly in this bay. Probably taking a few of these kids in their boat, but from a distance. So that is that, and Janice is here to film. Ooh, did you see that?
That was close.
That was really close.
Was that on purpose?
No. It almost ran right into the wire. That was very bizarre.
It launched like sideways, totally. Really quickly.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right and away, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Once you're pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces.
Okay, let me give you a few thoughts of what I thought of my Mavic 2 Pro. Taking it off from the boat was disappointing, scary, hard to say the words that would come to mind. It definitely made me leery of doing it right away. I almost lost my drone within 2 seconds of taking it off. It took off from right about there. But when I took off, instead of going straight up like my Mavic has always done, just straight up and then I fly it out over the lifelines, it just took off, went about this high off the ground and instantly started drifting into those lifelines there. And it just barely made it over top. Now I don't know what caused that. I don't know if it's because it has all this omnidirectional sensors and it just sensed that there was like the mast behind me and the, you know, Genoa in front of me. I don't know. I don't know if it was trying to avoid that, so it just backed out without me telling it to do so, but that was close. It almost caught the lifelines and had it tumbled into the water. That would have been the end of my drone, like that. And yeah. And then some other things that were just not great was we pointed at us as point of interest, and as far as I know, it should mean that the camera stays at us. But as it started doing its circle around us, it did a circle sort of, but the camera was never stopped. You know, as soon as it went off in one direction, the camera just sort of stayed in a static position and we weren't in frame. So I don't know if I'm misunderstanding what point of interest is, but to me, if you say point of interest and highlight something and say go, it's supposed to point the camera at that point of interest. It didn't do it. So I'm gonna have to practice this on land, see if this is a boat issue. When I did a circle around the lookout, it was better. This lookout building behind me. But I tried the same thing over at Cedar Island. I pointed at the lookout and told it to do a circle around it. And instead of going around the turret, it did a circle in front of the turret. So it went closer to the turret and then circled around and went further away from the turret. And that wasn't what a circle is supposed to be. When you point at something, it's supposed to do a circle around the thing you pointed at, not a circle in front of the thing you pointed at. So I don't know what's going on, but some of the quick shots of my boat worked out well. We had the circle, the droney, the asteroid, the boomerang, they all worked. So I'll give it credit for that. Now in hindsight, I should have just set it to auto exposure instead of manual, because with the sun coming down at an angle, obviously as it was around one side of the boat, things were way overexposed as it looked towards the sun, and then when it was facing the other way, things sometimes were underexposed. But the point of this video was not really to get the perfect exposure, it was more to see if these features would actually work off my sailboat. Slayed everything in conclusion. Taking off was weirdly, shockingly bad. Like it just took off and started going. Even when I flew beside the boat, it didn't just, once it got away from the boat, I thought maybe it would act more normal, but I don't know if it's because it's over water. It just started drifting a bit. For a while, it's like it needed to get its bearings. It kind of just drifted without me doing anything, and that's a bit dangerous with all the rigging that's hanging around. You don't want it drifting into your running rigging, and all these wires that hang out. So that wasn't good. We shall see. I'll have to do more testing. Maybe not on a boat where I'm worried about it flying erratically and hitting something. But on land. So that's it for today. I'd love to say it was a rousing success, but it certainly wasn't. So there you go. But that's the view we've got here. That's the military college, all of that. And we've got a beautiful sunny day. As you can see, I'm in my sweatshirt, so it's not a beautiful warm sunny day, just a beautiful sunny day. So we'll take that. Tonight's going to go down to, God, I thought I saw 3 degrees. Definitely not more than 6 degrees, so it's going to be chilly. So we're going to have to break out the candles and stuff down below. This boat is not winterized. We do not have a oil furnace or any of that stuff in this boat. So when it goes down that cold, it's just light some candles and snuggle. We'll do that soon enough, because once the sun starts going down, it's going to get cold quick and we will not want to be sitting outside. But for now, let's just take advantage of this sun and the warmth. If you needed any more examples of how crazy Janice is and how she just seems to want to swim no matter what the temperature. Okay, so Janice is going to go in. She had a good point. She said the water
could not have cooled off yet.
Yeah, we had heat up until the day before yesterday, so she's probably right. The water
was really hot earlier this week. It just cooled off. Well, it was really hot yesterday, right after the rainstorm as well.
Yeah.
So
26, yeah, that's not too bad. So now Janice is going to go in. It's probably going to be warmer in the water than it is in the air, because I'm telling you, it is not. If it wasn't for the sun, it wouldn't be warm at all out here. So.
No.
All right.
My hot cup of tea.
She's got a hot cup of tea. I'll have that down there so you don't get hypothermia. All right, polar bear, go for it. How bad is it? How good is it? What's it like?
Not too bad.
Not too bad? Yeah, I'm not getting talked into that. That's insane to me. Not gonna happen. Okay, another beautiful day. Again, not warm enough to not wear a sweatshirt, but
The second day of fall.
yeah, second day of fall according to Janice. But of course it's warm enough for Janice to be swimming.
It's beautiful.
Now we just saw something. We just noticed that over there, right there, there's a picnic bench on kind of a little rocky inlet. So we didn't bring our dinghy because we didn't think we'd use it. But Janice is going to swim over there and see if that's somewhere next time we come we could bring our dinghy and go to shore. That's one thing we complain. We like this spot, but it's all rocky shore and thick trees. So there's nowhere to go for a walk from the boat, except for if you go over to the college and use their docks, but that's a bit, you know, that might be pushing it a bit because we're not members of this college to so Janice, you let me know what you find when you get over there. Let me zoom in. You're getting to be tiny. There she is. Jan?
I'll be there eventually.
Yeah, she says I'm going to swim over. What she means is I'm going to float over.
Slowly paddle over.
All right, let me know. Now she's getting her arms into it. Stroke, stroke, stroke. Janice is back from doing her recon. What did you find out?
It's stuck over there.
It's sucked over there?
Accessible through the fence.
And it's no good for our dinghy to dock there. No. Boo, boo. I was hoping there was a little spot to dock our dinghy. Oh well.
No trail.
You're not cold yet?
Eh?
You're not cold yet?
No.
No. All right. Okay, we are leaving the little bay, leaving military college behind, but this is something we don't see ever around here, because there's a cruise ship anchored out here in front of Kingston. I can see a tender or something going back to it, so they must have an excursion stop for Kingston. But in all the time we didn't see one last year either.
Never seen one ever.
That's crazy. Oh well, very cool. So aren't just those riverboat cruises, there's also cruise ships that you can check out Kingston from if you're not from the area. So we're gonna motor out and get closer. It's called the Hamburg. Definitely an older, probably decommissioned, it says it's out of Nassau, Bahamas. Decommissioned cruise ship of the Caribbean that's now doing St. Lawrence River tours. I'll have to look that up.
Reboot, I'm cold red, my service automated, like data running through my veins. Got you distracted, subconscious overloaded. Careful, don't pull the cord on me. No time to stay around. Keep walking till you get out of my face. Regrets, restricted access. I'm just a flight to get up in your. Reboot is charging. I can't waste my time with someone slowing me down. So high, I'm floating. I'm shining in my prime. Start rolling over 'cause you can't take my crown.
Well, the end of another beautiful weekend on the boat.
Our last
Our very last of the season.
day of fall, but it still feels like summer. Like it is t-shirt weather right now.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, we had a good
Had a
time.
good September.
Yeah. We got to see a cruise ship in front of
Yeah.
Kingston we've never seen.
Oh.
Obviously, we got to see lots of racers. They're always around. Part of being part of the Olympic harbor is that there's all sorts of Olympic racing,
The trials.
yeah, qualifying rounds and stuff for various world racing tours. So yeah, good weekend, good weather. It's actually warm enough here in the harbor. I've taken my sweatshirt off. So, yeah. The only other thing that I did that was disappointing is the drone.
Yep.
It really acted weird. Didn't take off well. Didn't track our boat. I don't know. I'll have to look into that.
We might drive into town and do another flight off land.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, if that cruise ship's still there. Cool. Anyways, hopefully you enjoyed it. The episodes you're going to see next are probably going to be the Annapolis Sailboat Show. And then after that, we'll probably be back to some of the sailing stuff we did this summer that I never got around to making episodes out of. Until then, safe cruising.
Bye.
Bye.
We anchor and hoist the sail.